Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all having a wonderful day wherever you may be, whether it is actually day. And I hope you're having a wonderful time. Today's build is something I am so excited about and something I've wanted to build for a really long time now and just haven't really got around to doing. So, this build is a base game family home and it is a massive family home. I don't normally build massive homes because I never know how to furnish them, and it usually ends up being a lot of lounge rooms and just a lot of seats and a lot of rooms. So I was a bit nervous about this one, but I am so happy with how it turned out in the end. It looks very rich, kind of luxurious. They're definitely very well off. I can't remember what career I gave the parents. I think the dad is just like a salary person. So that's kind of fun. And the mum is a stay at home mum. They have 6 children. 5 children. They have 5 children. And there is room for a pet if you have cats and dogs and would like one. Oh, hello. My cat just walked out of the cupboard. That's a bit strange. Anyway, back to the build. So there is room for 7 Sims, and if you have cats and dogs, I would recommend adding in some pet stuff and making room for a pet, or if you want to have some more children, there's room for that. So this was really fun. I had a lot of fun building this. It was a bit of a challenge because I always find base game to be a bit challenging because there is such a restriction on how many items you have. So this started off a bit all over the place, and I spent a long time working on the exterior because whenever I build base game only homes, I find that I spend a lot more time on making the house exterior look nice and everything look visually appealing instead of just filling it with lots of random items from different packs. So this was fun. I struggled a lot with the back of the house. It just was not working for me no matter what I tried. And I think I spent like the whole of Bridget Jones trying to get this house exterior to work. And I got there in the end, and I'm really happy with how it looks. It's 2 stories. I think it's around 300,000 simoleons. It was quite a bit. It's not a cheap home for sure, but it's fun. It's a really fun house. So there is kind of 2 separate sides to the house downstairs. When you come in the entrance, there is a kids study area off to the right hand side, and then there's kind of the parents lounge desk office-y area to the left. So it's a bit more formal, a bit more kind of beige in colour, but it's also really fun. So the Sims that I have living here, there is 4 bedrooms all up, but they're 4 really big bedrooms. So there's the parents' room, there is their oldest daughter's room, there is then the twin boys' room, and they're both children, and then there's the twin girls' room, and they are both toddlers. So there is room to separate the bedrooms into 2 if you would like. But I thought it was really fun that they shared a room. It's a very cozy space in each room. They've got their own items. I did build the Sims that live in this house. I can't remember what they're called because I built this quite a while ago. But they are up on the gallery. I posted them almost immediately after I posted this house. You may have to turn on custom content to find them because I do have a few clothing items in my game, but that won't really affect your ability to download them. You may just have to change a couple of different things. So this house is also really exciting because I included a cubby house out the back, and I have never had so much fun building than I did building this cubby house. It didn't take like it took me like 10 minutes to build the whole cubby house and decorate it inside, but it was just so much fun. It's definitely one of my favorite things I've put into a build, and I think it made the build overall seem a bit more interesting, especially because there was so much space in the backyard. I didn't really know what else to put out there. I ended up putting a few easels and a chess table, some planters, and there was still kind of a gap of grass. So there is room for you to put other things. Obviously, if you have packs and things in your game, you can always add them in. But you can feel free to do whatever you would like. It's a lot of fun. If you want to download this, it will be on the gallery. My origin ID is ZoeKate12 because I made it when I was 12. So you can easily find me that way. I will leave everything in the description as well if you forget or if you don't know how to spell it. It will all be down there. And I hope you really enjoy this. We are starting on the interior now, and I spent a really long time trying to work out the interior of this build. I didn't really have any direction when I started. I knew I wanted two kind of living rooms because I wanted the parents and kids to be able to have separate rooms, and I really wanted a study area because they do have so many children that it kind of felt like a necessity to have desks all in one room, so that way their bedrooms could be filled with more toys and items they'd enjoy instead of just having desks in there. It's also not very good to study in your room, so that's another reason. The toddlers girls room also has a kind of little cubby house in there, which I had so much fun building. It was on 3 stairs to start with, and it was 3 steps high, which the toddlers could get up, but they couldn't get down, and the roof was too low for parents to get up there and take them down. So then essentially the toddlers were stuck, which isn't ideal. So I had to make it 2 steps high, and that way they can both climb up and down and there's no trouble. Did make sure I play tested everything, or at least I think I play tested everything, because I wanted to make sure it functioned properly and everything worked as it should. So there isn't another separate living area upstairs, it is just bedrooms, and I included 3 bathrooms upstairs. So the parents have a bathroom, the toddlers have a bathroom with a bath, and then there's another bathroom between the teenage daughter room and the twin boys room, so they kind of share that one bathroom, which I think is fine. In the end, it worked out pretty well, and I had so much fun. Like, I can't tell you how excited I was when I finished this. I think it may be my favorite thing I've built to date, and it's also really exciting because it's the most downloaded build on my gallery. At the moment, it has like over 200 downloads, which doesn't sound like a lot to some people, but usually I might only get like 5-10 downloads per build, which is still pretty exciting. Like, I love seeing that people have saved my builds, or whenever they like them or comment on them. It just makes me so excited, and it makes me just want to keep building things for other people and building things that other people can enjoy. It brings me a lot of excitement. So as you can see, I'm working on the study room at the moment, and I wanted to kind of fit some chairs in the middle because I thought that might be nice, because I put quite a few bookshelves in there, but it just looked a bit dumb. So to make the toddlers feel included, I put an activity table. There is only one, but there is an activity table, so the toddlers can play there and sit and hang out with their siblings. While they're all studying, they can probably sit and paint or do something like that. There might be some blocks on the floor in there as well, so that way they feel included while everyone else is studying. And then the next to this study room is the kids' lounge room, which is very messy and cluttered. I used a lot of different clutter items. I spent a good majority of my time just scrolling through item menus to try and find different clutter items to fill the space, and just lots of different things that I could put in there. I put some colourful lounges, and I put quite a few musical instruments and just skill building items for the kids. And then this room goes out onto its own little balcony, which is right in front of the treehouse. So that's very exciting again. And the treehouse, I didn't show any video recording of it because the tree was kind of in the way and it just would have been really annoying to watch. But I did include some screenshots, and if you have island living, there is sand terrain underneath. So if you have island living, they can build sand sculptures and play around in the sand. Otherwise, there is a toy box and just some toys down the bottom that they can play in. So no matter what packs you have in addition to base game, it will add different features. But even if you have just base game, everything will work. There's no other packs in this, which I'm so excited about. I love building base game builds. I just have so much fun trying to make use of the items that are already there and seeing how I can use them differently. If you have laundry day, there is plenty of space to include laundry items as well. Upstairs in the hallway, I included some laundry baskets, which aren't functional, they're just decorative. But I saw someone on Pinterest do it actually. It was like a Pinterest mum, and I don't know why it suggested it to me, but she had laundry baskets lined up in the hallway so that way the kids could just chuck them out there. And I thought that was kind of a clever idea, and I thought it'd be really fun to do something similar in The Sims, especially with these big family homes. It worked pretty well. We are into the kitchen and dining area now, which I struggle with so much. I spent so long trying to work out how I was going to furnish this, and the dining room ended up being a bit cluttered. I'd put a bar in and some cutlery cabinets, which took up quite a bit of room and looked alright, but then there was this kind of empty space in front of the door and it just looked kind of wrong. So I ended up closing the door off in a little 2x4 or 2x2 room, which did help, and it did make it look a bit cozier and just a bit less like empty, because I really don't like having big empty spaces. I much prefer to clutter up a house as much as I can, and I think this house is kind of the perfect size for cluttering it up, but still having it practical and have some empty space so it looks quite nice, but it's not too empty that it looks gross. Everything, including the fireplace in the corner, is functional. I did test it. I didn't know if a fireplace would work if it was up on one platform, because I thought your Sims would have to step up on the platform to use the fireplace, but they don't, so that was really interesting. I learnt something there. So it does function without them having to climb up on the platform. They can just kind of lean over and light it. It may be a bit of a fire hazard because it's so close to the TV kind of cabinet area, but it's fine. Nothing a little bit of fire extinguisher can't fix, so it'll be right. Hopefully your Sims don't burn the house down, although knowing my Sims, they definitely would. They're kind of a mess, but it's alright. Everything will be fine. So as you can see now, we're working on the backyard more. I wanted to make this home very family friendly and very entertainment friendly. So there is a lot of kind of areas for them to sit and entertain. If the kids have friends over, there's different areas of the house they can go to. Obviously, they can spend time in their own room where they've got their own kind of personalized items. There's room in the tree house for the kids and the teen, although it is directed more towards the younger children. And then there's the backyard area where they've got kids' items, and then there's the kids' lounge room, so there is heaps of space for them so they're not all stuck together all the time. I also included some debug items around. I had a lot of fun looking for different debug items to use. I don't usually include many debug items because it's just a bit of a pain to scroll through and try and find them all, but I think in a base game home they're kind of a bit more necessary. So I went and had a look for as many as I could find, and I put a car out the front, and I tried to use some plants, but they just didn't really fit how I wanted them to. So I didn't do that in the end. I just left them how they were. I also got some paintings off the gallery which look like custom content paintings, but they're just paintings that someone has downloaded either as custom content, or they've painted it in the game, or they've just copied things in the game and made them paintings and then re-uploaded them as just paintings you can download and put in your game. So I used a lot of them because the artwork in the base game was something that was really limited and there wasn't much I could do about that. So I had to improvise a little bit, but I found a heap of different ones I could use, and I had a lot of fun looking through them. I can't remember who painted them all, but they are all saved to my library if you want to download them. They are under my favorited items, so if you are interested, that's where you can find them. It's not too hard to see which ones come from where. So you may have noticed we have moved on to the upstairs of the build, and I'm currently furnishing, I think I did all of the bathrooms in one go, maybe, all the upstairs ones. They're pretty much the same. I tried to add a bit of clutter in each of them, but I didn't really go overboard. And we're now working on the boys' room. You may have noticed that I put in 3 beds to begin with, and I was seriously considering having triplets in that room, but I thought that would be a bit much, and I think 7 Sims is already too much as it is. I mean, I struggle to control like 1 Sim, it just becomes too chaotic, so having 7 to look after would just be a disaster. But each into their own. If you want to have an extra Sim, there is room to fit them in, so you can do that if you'd like. I would advise against it because it's already a lot, but if that's your choice, then feel free to go ahead. I tried to include, as you can see, a lot of toys in here. I put the little penguin TV in because I feel like I never get to use it, and it's kind of one of my favorite things in the base game. It's just such a dumb item, but I really love it. I have a lot of fun with it. I also really liked the pile of sports clutter that came with the base game. I just changed it to 2 different swatches so that way it looks like they have lots of different items there and they're into 2 different things. And I don't think I recorded the teenage girls' room, or I may have just forgotten, but it's pretty simple. It's very just like pink and white. It's very basic. It's the smallest room of them all, but I think because there's only 1 Sim in there that I think it's fine. I think it's fair. She has the smallest room, even though she's the oldest. It's alright. I was also really happy with how the parents' room came out, and I think it actually looked really realistic. I used the fancier bed that was in the game, which I didn't know if it would actually fit, but in the end it looked like it actually fit surprisingly well. I think because considering they're the parents, they earn good money, maybe they wanted like a really nice bed and then just some sort of, I suppose, shabby chic furniture to go with it. So they do have that. I also put in this open shelving of clothing, which I thought was kind of fun. I did include a dresser though, so they can change their clothes and plan their outfits if they need. They have their own extra sitting up here, and they all have their own space. So if they need their own space to go and sit, there's plenty of space in the house for everyone to spread out and go do their own thing if they like, or they can all come together in the more communal areas. I think I forgot to include toddler feeding, like high chairs at the dining table though. I think that was one thing I meant to go back and put in, but I completely forgot. So if you do need to feed the toddlers, you may have to put in some high chairs, but I did include a little potty and everything else they need. I just forgot those. So I apologize for that one, but it isn't like a major problem. There is plenty of room at the dining table for all the Sims. You can always just remove 2 of the chairs and replace them with high tables, or you could put them in your inventory or put the chairs around the house randomly. I think there might be a little attic in here, so you could always pop them up there if you're someone who likes having the furniture still in the game, so it looks like they have just moved it to a different part of the house until the teenagers, or until the toddlers grow up into teenagers or children. So if that's something you like, then you're more than welcome to do that. We are into the screenshots now, so you will see some more close-ups of the house. The car is floating. I didn't notice until I went back into the game to add the Sims in, and I had already uploaded it and done everything, so it's fine. It's only floating a little bit. So you will see some detailed shots here. I tried to get some really good photos of everything, and you'll also see a lot more pictures of the backyard. I didn't really include too much on the backyard, but you'll see that. You'll see inside the cubby, which is one of my favorite places, and I'm really excited. If you want to download this, it is up on the gallery along with the family who lives here. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!